All right, guys, here we go with homework 22. This is from chapter 24. Gosh, I'm doing that from memory. I hope I'm right on that one. Um, anyway, here's the homework problem. So I want to just talk about these and then kind of talk about uh, the bigger picture idea. And sometimes just to kind of help you get a better understanding if you need it. Okay, so remember we've got when we have two sets of data, when we're talking about um, two samples, the samples might be independent or they might be not independent, meaning there's some relationship. It doesn't mean one depends on the other. It just means that they don't affect each other or that somehow they are related. Okay, so which should be analyzed as paired data? So remember, if they're not independent, then sometimes, not all the time, we can take one set of data minus the other set, the first set minus the second set of data, and get the differences. And if we do get all the differences, then that would be one set of data. So for instance, for A, students take the MCAT prep course. Is that the law school one or the medical one? I don't remember. I think medical, LSAT's law school, but anyway, so they take a prep course. Their before and after scores are compared. So we've got a before scores and we have after scores. Are these two sets related? And the answer is yes, they are, because they're the same person. If little Joey took whatever his before score is, or his after score is going to be related to his before score. If the before score is higher, the after score is going to be higher, and so forth, potentially. So I can't do a two sample test on this data. I would want to do the before minus the after and get some new number, which would be the difference. And I could do a one sample test on that. So this for A, this would be, I would do a paired test. Okay, because it's paired data. Okay, now B, 20 male, 20 female students in a class take a midterm. You're going to compare the scores. So B, we got the male scores and the female scores. Is there some sort of association between the males and the females? I mean, yes, they're in the same class, but is this male score somehow related to this female score and on down the list? The answer is no, because I can swap these up. There's no order that I have to put these in. So this would be not paired for B. So for A, it's paired. Okay. And then C, you've got college freshmen asked about the quality of university cafeteria. A year later, the same students are asked about the cafeteria again. Do opinions change? So we've got the students. Let's see. We want to know what their students rating. As freshmen. And then we have the students rating at the end of the year or a year later, maybe as sophomores or something like that. End of year. Sorry about that. I got like all this stuff going on outside here, so sorry. So we've got the students rating as freshmen. They score it, and then the same student relates it or scores it at the end of the year. Score, 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 and so forth. And are these two sets of data related? And the answer is yes, because they're the same person. You know, if Susie, and everybody's naming their kids Susies nowadays, aren't they? Man, I'm old. So we got, Susie, her scores are related to each other, then, and so forth. And so we would want to look at the differences and do a difference test. So this would be paired tests or paired data. Okay. So there's problem number one. Let's take a look at problem number three. probably do 2 of these on a video. So can food additive increase egg production? Agricultural researchers want to design an experiment to find out. They have 100 hens available. They have 2 kinds of feed, regular and new. They want to run their experiment for a month, recording the number of eggs hen produces. So I want to see if the additive increases a hen's production or not. Okay, so we want to design an experiment that requires a 2-sample T procedure. Okay, so that means I want to have 2 independent samples. So for A, I'm going to take we had 100 hens, right? My 100 hens. I'm going to split them into 2 groups. So the first group will get let's see, regular feed. This is the new feed. Okay, and then I'm going to compare egg production. They get randomly allocated here, and we're going to do this for 1 month. After 1 month. Okay, so would it be reasonable to take the numbers of eggs that these 50 hens produced up here and the number of eggs these 50 hens produced down here and do a 2-sample t-test, right, where I could say, oh, H0 is mu1 equals mu2, the average number of eggs they lay, and then HA, I want to know if there's a difference, right? So that would be 2 samples because these 2 samples are independent of each other. So how can I design a test that requires a matched pairs T procedure? Well, I could do this, 100 hens. I'm going to split them in half. I'm going to let 50 of them do regular feed and then new feed. The other 50 I'm going to do the new feed and then the regular feed. And I'm going to compare the results for regular and new. Okay, so I did a couple of things here. First of all, let me just say this. If I didn't have that, would this be a okay comparison? I do the regular feed, check. For a month. I do the new feed for a month and see how many they lay and compare those 2. That would be a matched pairs because I would have number of eggs with the regular, number of eggs with the new, and I've got, let's see, Henrietta, the hen. I could see how many eggs did she lay with the regular, with the new, and I can't do a 2-sample test because again they're related, it's the same hen, so I would look at the difference, right? I would say the regular minus the new, and I could keep going down the list that way. Now, why did I originally say this? Do it 2 different ways and regular feed. Could taking the regular feed first and then the new be different than the new and the regular? And the answer is yes, that could have happened. Okay, by taking the new feed first, that still maybe in their system takes longer to get out, or maybe it affects egg production for a long time, or maybe it worsens it, I don't know. So by doing both, we're going to check to see, is there a difference between this group and this group separately? But individually, we're going to do a paired t-test. Okay, there we go.